name is Melissa. Welcome back to my channel. We are getting so close to December 25th. I can't even believe it. We've made it all the way through our Breyer Advent Calendar boxes, almost all the way through the story of why we celebrate Jesus. And we've been learning so much about Zoe and her animals. Actually, she is tending to them right now. It looks like she's feeling a little better. She's not even wearing her sling today. So that's a good thing. I'm excited to continue our story with you today, and we are going to just do a little bit of a review about what we've been talking about so far. We've been talking about the gift of choice that God gave us, one of the most special gifts of all of His gifts to us. He gave us the choice of choosing life or death. And He gave us that choice in the very beginning with Adam and Eve, with that tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The life leads to light, the light of God. We get to live in the light of God. And the death that He talks about brings darkness. When we make good choices, we walk in the light of God. And when we make bad choices, that darkness comes and just begins to settle into our hearts. Now, God always, always loves us, and He always wants to be with us. That's why we can ask Him into our heart. We can ask Him to be Lord of our life, and we get to walk close with Him. And one day we get to go to heaven and live with Him. But He knew that neither you nor me, neither one of us can make good choices all the time. Romans 3:23 tells us that everybody sins. Everybody makes bad choices sometimes, which means sometimes everybody has that darkness that settles into their heart, that shame and that, oh, I feel so bad, and that guilt settles into our hearts sometimes. And God didn't want us to live that way. God really wanted us to live a happy life, a good life on earth, as well as to one day be able to go to heaven and live with Him. But you make choices, I make choices, people make choices sometimes that hurt us, we hurt them, sometimes we hurt ourselves. And God wanted there to be a way. He knew that would happen, and that's part of His gift of choice. But He wanted there to be a way so that we didn't have to live in that darkness that comes with bad choices. So that if we make this bad choice and that darkness comes in, we can make a good choice and move back over to light, have that darkness gone. Now, no matter what choice we make, God always loves us and God's with us. He's fighting for us. Before Jesus came, there were many routines and many things that people had to do in order to lift this darkness when they made bad choices. It was really hard. And sometimes there were whole families and communities that would just make one bad choice after another, and they would never ask God for forgiveness. They would never repent, is the word that we use for that. And so the darkness would just get bigger and bigger, and it would spread throughout the family and throughout the community. And in those cases, God would have to do some really big things because He didn't want the darkness to spread all over the earth. But God always has a plan, and that's the great news. He and Jesus had a plan of a way that they could lift that darkness very quickly and very easily. There was nothing on earth strong enough to lift the darkness of our bad choices, the darkness of our sin. But Jesus, He is not of the earth. He is of heaven. He is the Son of God. And His light, His life is more than enough to lift the darkness. And God and Jesus had a plan to send Jesus to the earth so that Jesus could bring light with Him, and His light would be more than enough to lift all of the darkness. While there may sometimes be consequences when we make bad choices, like getting grounded or having to apologize, or who knows, the darkness no longer has to be in our heart. We can walk in light even when we're in consequences. Even when you're sitting in your timeout chair, you can still have the light of God in you when you have asked God to forgive you, and when you have that darkness lifted by the power of the light of Jesus. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more. We just have a couple days left, and I'm excited. Let's go to our Breyer Advent box. I believe we are on day 22, and let's see what we have. Ah, beautiful black horse. Wonder if this is the mama of that black foal that we had the other day. She is very, very beautiful. All right, guys, we're gonna pop back in on Zoe. Looks like she is still just working in the stable. I think she was out for a couple days, so usually Rachel comes and helps her when she's out, but maybe, oh, you know what? Rachel's working on her big surprise with Tom and Amy. So I guess probably Zoe's got a lot of catch up to do. So we will check on them tomorrow. Couple things for you. We might go a little long today, but it's really important. Christmas Eve on the night of December 24th, I am going to give you a sneak peek at Zoe's big surprise. It's going to be completely separate from the Advent video. It will be in the evening on Christmas Eve. And it's not going to be super long, but it's going to be fun. I think Zoe's going to love it, and I hope that you love it too. Also, don't forget that we're doing our giveaway for the Breyer Hope of the Year horse. She's a beauty. We're going to be giving her away on Christmas Day. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. Go to video 13, Advent Day 13, and write subscribe in the comments after you subscribed. And we will enter you in the drawing for the Breyer Hope of the Year horse. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.